Hey everyone, it's Jim with Freedom Music Factory, and today we have a very special podcast from a very special person and a great friend of mine, Diamond Johnson.
My man.
Welcome, Diamond. Good seeing you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
We're here for our annual December hang as he comes back to Kansas City, and we just kind of talk about drums and life, and he asked me about business things, and we kind of pick each other's brains, and he shows me some licks. He's shown me some great licks here recently, so we'll talk about that more in a minute. But I've known Diamond since he was just a kind of a teenager, and he came over here and he spent a lot of time woodshedding in my studio. We'd play together. I really enjoyed when we would trade fours on songs. Like we learned to play music together, you know, and learn what the kick drum was doing and what the hi-hat was doing, and we'd jam out on songs, and that was really a fun time. So Diamond, why don't you tell us all about your background and what you've been doing lately?
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you for having me, Jim. And hello to all of Jim's audience and all of my audience that I'm going to share this video with. Man, a little bit about me. So, you know, I grew up, parents are pastors, grew up playing in church at a very young age. I've been playing drums since I was 2 years old. And over the years, as I was kind of cultivating my craft, I would get connected to people along the way, very important and talented people along the way, and you being one of those people, right? I remember in my journey coming to the house and literally playing until 4 a.m.
That's right.
Going to sleep, waking up, going for jogs, right? And so Jim has been very crucial to my journey and development as a musician. When I was about 21, I made the decision to move to Los Angeles. And when I got to Los Angeles, I had nothing. I had my car because I drove out there. I had one suitcase and my drum set. And the beautiful thing about it is when I was couch hopping, I was just, you know, I had a lot of faith that things would happen and take off for me. And as I started building relationships and connecting with people and cultivating more relationships, more opportunities came from that. And so I'm extremely grateful for the people that I've crossed paths with. And it's led me to doing some really cool things like playing drums for Beyonce. I've done 2 world tours with her.
Amazing. Did
the Grammys with DJ Khaled and Jay-Z. And Lil Wayne was on that as well. I've done movies like Sing 2 and Moana 2, which are some very notable animations or animated films. And all around, I've had an extremely blessed career. And I've done so many more things that I can't even think of right now. But I'm extremely grateful, man, for the opportunity that I've been afforded, and God continuously showing up in my career, in my life. So I'm very grateful.
You know, it's a great story. You know, when Diamond would hang out here with Josh Mayfield, the 3 of us were kind of like the 3 amigos, and we would hang out, we'd trade fours and learn songs and stuff. Then we'd go out and go on walks and we'd talk about life. But these guys were really good guys. They never got into trouble. They weren't getting into riffraff and mischief.
Mischief.
Yeah,
there we go.
but these guys are really good guys. I mean, they were not causing trouble or getting into any kind of trouble at all, or getting into any mischief. All they really wanted to do was practice and learn their craft, and they did a lot of it over here. And, you know, that was great. They weren't out smoking pot or chasing girls or doing stuff that could get you in trouble. So this is a great man right here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Joe.
And so we're both Christians. So
that's right. Tell
me a little bit what the Lord's done for you in your life.
Absolutely. So just to go a little bit deeper into my story, you know, I reached a breaking point in my life and my career. And you know what? Let me go back a little bit further.
Sure.
When I was 11 years old, 10 or 11, a series of unfortunate events happened to where me and my mother became homeless. And I remember that we would come together and say our prayers at night, whether it would be in the car while we were sleeping in the car, or at my cousin Myron's house when we found somewhere to stay. It was a small room, no bigger than the front of this desk to here. There's a little bed in there and just enough room for our suitcases, right? It was very cramped. And we, it's so crazy, Jim, because we would say our prayers at night. and I would say, God, thank you for my amazing life. And I wasn't aware of anything that was going on, but it speaks to the sense of deep-rooted gratitude that was instilled into me at a young age, right? No matter if I have a huge house, no matter if I am sleeping in a car, my gratitude was instilled into me at a very young age. Now watch this. Over the years, when I moved out to LA, things happened for me very quickly. And I started doing a bunch of amazing projects and things, and I'm kind of alluding to some of the things that I shared before. I took on this big project, Jim, and it was these studios, and it was a very like innovative idea. But being a drummer my whole life and not growing up with like really any business acumen, I ran into a lot of hurdles along the way. And there was just a lot of things that I didn't know, right? And along the way, a series of events happened to where I lost everything. I invested so much time and so much of my own capital into the business, and it all came crumbling down, right? And the final thing was when everything was crumbling down, I remember I was down to my last like $50,000. And that sounds so weird to say. Yeah. I was down to my last $50,000, right?
Gotta last you unless you find a gig.
So watch this. I was down to my last bit of money, and the business was shutting down. And a part of how I was raised with integrity, I had to refund everyone who had just opted into the program. It was about $40,000 gone out of that 50. So now I'm super panicked, right?
Yeah.
More issues came. The transitional part of really dissolving the business, I was out, right? And I have 3 principles that I live off of in order to make it in the industry. Okay?
What are they?
The 3 principles are: you have to find your lane, you have to build relationships within that lane, and then you have to nail the gig, okay? Now watch this. With me implementing that framework, I had built so many relationships at that point that when I lost everything, by the grace of God, I did and implemented on that framework at such a high level that I didn't stay down for long.
Amen.
And I almost get choked up talking about this story because it's like I didn't miss a beat. It's like once I lost everything, God didn't let me stay down for long.
Amen.
And so a project would come up that's 7,000. Another project would come up 15,000. Another project would come up 30,000. Another project would come up 8,000.
I love it.
And it was just like coming back, and it was like I was recouping off of the losses, right? Here's the thing. I can talk about strategy and principle all day long, but your question was, what has God done into your life? What has God done for you in your life? God has given me the ability to wake up every day with a sound mind and a deep-rooted sense of gratitude that has given me the ability to go out and implement the things and the strategies that God has revealed to me, and also maintain relationships at a high level that even when I lost everything, God allowed me to recoup.
Amen.
And receive a double portion on everything that I lost, man. So that's what God has done for me.
Glory to God. You know, what you really did with that attitude of gratitude is you were practicing faith.
Yes, sir.
I mean, faith is the substance of things hoped for without any evidence of seeing it. So you're saying, God, I thank you for this van I'm living in. And, you know, you could have said, you know, you could have felt sorry for yourself or done any number of things, but you had the attitude of gratitude. And the Bible says when Abraham practiced faith, it was credited to him as righteousness. So I believe that's what happened to you. God saw your heart and he made a way where there wasn't a way. He opened up doors that were closed. And now look at you today, man. I've known you for several years and you're just really at the top of the game right now. And I know that you're going to stay there. But no one is exempt from pitfalls.
Nobody.
I mean, nobody. We all go through life. We all have struggles, personal struggles, financial struggles. It hits us all. No one's exempt. But how we come out of it's important. And trusting in the Lord has been a big principle for me. There's been so many times where I thought I was going to lose it all and be on the bottom, but I trusted in the Lord, and he saw me through. He made a way where there was no way.
That's right.
So that's great, man. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you know the crazy part about it, Jim, is that God's timing is always the best timing, right? We go through things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And so what I learned out of that experience, the framework that I told you that was revealed to me, that God gave me an opportunity to really tap into and really dissect what was going on, like in my career, and be able to identify that same pattern being implemented in other people's careers, how they got to where they were. Like nobody in the music industry has gotten where they were without finding their lane, building relationships, and nailing the gig, right? So watch this. After I recouped, after I was in a stable position, I took all the information that I gathered and I said, if I can start over again from zero with this same principle, then I know it's going to work for other people. Now, I've coached people before and I've been a mentor. I don't really care for the word mentor, but I've coached people before, and people have had great success. Now watch this. When that business shut down, that a part of it was a little rooted in ego and wanting to win and wanting to succeed. My new business is completely rooted in helping people to get to the next level.
Awesome. Okay? Let's talk about that.
And so this business is called First Call Drummer. Okay. Instead of studios and helping out all the creators, I'm only focused on my people right now, which is intermediate drummers, taking any intermediate drummers to that next level, right? And so the same things that were happening for me when Josh was coaching me here at your studio, or when the early days when you would talk to me about business here at the house, me being coached, right? I've been able to package my life experiences and give people an intensive training over 16 weeks to where they go from intermediate drummer who doesn't know any direction on their career, how to play, where they should be in their lane, how to cultivate relationships, how to get in front of the right people, how to nail the gig. I'm taking them from not knowing any of that to being a world-class drummer in just 16 weeks with my new program. Now watch this. Unlike my last business, this business comes with no stress. The business is 10 times more fruitful in regards to finances, fulfillment of the customer, and people's lives are being completely changed. And I'm completely fulfilled by helping people.
That's
Isn't
awesome.
that wonderful?
It's awesome, man. I'm so proud of Diamond because he's always had a great, sharp business mind. And he's picked my brains constantly about...
I'm annoying, aren't I?
It's a good kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I don't mind helping. But, he's always churning and he's always got an idea going. And I think this is a great idea. How do they find you on social media, or how do they sign up for that?
Absolutely. So you can go to my page on Instagram, _Diamond_Johnson_. Okay.
3 underscores.
3 underscores. Diamond Johnson with underscores at the end and one in the middle. All right. What they can do is, you know what? For the sake of this video, DM me the word Jim in all caps. JIM.
I love it.
And either myself or my team will contact you. We'll reach back out to you and kind of see where you are in your career and see if we're the right fit to help you go to the next level as a drummer. Now, for the people that are watching this video 10 years from now, by that time, we would have most likely expanded to helping people with different instruments, in different parts, like singers, because these principles are applicable to people in different fields. But right now, our specialty is helping drummers. So depending on when you're watching this.
I heard you playing the organ this morning. So
yeah, so I got some skills in other instruments and other areas. But yeah, DM me the word Jim, and we'll figure out if I'm the right fit to coach you to the next level.
Something a lot of people probably don't know, what Diamond came out of Kansas City in the gospel scene, many different churches here, as well as I have too. but also he won the Guitar Center drum off. No,
I went to the finals.
Went to the finals.
Yeah, yeah.
You went to the finals in LA, right?
In LA.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's great coming from Kansas City to the finals in LA.
Yes,
so that's
sir.
great. So we've had two drummers that I know make it to the finals.
Yeah.
Go-Go Ray and now Diamond Johnson.
Go-Go Ray.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he did.
That's right.
Yeah. Go-Go Ray is taking a second to talk about Kansas City drummers.
Yeah.
Man, there's some incredible drummers, musicians, period, that have come out of Kansas City. Like, I mean, we got Go-Go Ray.
Right.
We got Josh Mayfield,
Right.
who was my early mentor. We have
Lester Estelle.
Lester Estelle. We got RJ.
RJ for crying
RJ
out loud.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh
they
my
all played at
God.
the same church I did.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we all
got
played
RJ
out
Kelly,
there.
man. We
Yeah.
got and then branching out to just musicians, period. Like, I mean, when you talk about Josh, you got to talk about Aaron Mayfield, his brother.
That's right. Absolutely.
You got to talk about Justice West, guitar.
Yeah.
He's actually the first couch that I slept on going out to LA. Shout out to Justice West. We got Bernard Harvey. He goes by Harv now, but music director for Justin Bieber. You know, we have so many incredible musicians that have come out of the city. And it's almost like if you put your head down and you really, really work and really, really lock in on your craft, it's like if you move from Kansas City to go to another big city, it's like foolproof that you're going to succeed.
Yeah, there's been so much talent here. I mean, there were kind of two different main studios here. We had Leon Brady and Sons and KCK, and he birthed a lot of great drummers like John Cushan, who's a great friend of mine.
Wow.
Shout out to John. And just a ton of people from, you know, the inner city of KCK and that sort of thing. Then we had Rogers Music Studio with Dennis Rogers and Kevin Rogers and Phil Rogers, which I used to teach at for many years. And that birthed all kinds of people. For Dennis, taking them up to Missouri Western with Rod Lincoln and just a lot of great drummers up there. And so Kansas City has been a hub for drummers, and most people kind of leave and branch out and go somewhere, but there's just a lot of great learning if you want to learn feel or chops or rudiments or, you know, snare drum solos, anything. It's all here with great instructors.
Absolutely. No, I love it. I love this city. And I just love, I was saying this last night, you know, we pulled up at this church service and it's just like Kansas City is so special. It's such an overlooked city, town, but there's so much to offer here. And every time I come back, I have a new appreciation for the city and for the people that come from here. So, yeah, man, I'm grateful. And grateful to have been able to cross paths with the incredible Jim Waggy. So, yeah.
Thank you.
And with that, you know, I'm excited. You know, you have your new YouTube channel. I'm excited for all the original music that you're finally putting out, man. Like you've been, since the days where we were coming over to hang out until 4 a.m. and fall asleep in the studio, right? You were making music, and now that you're finally putting it out, man, can you, I know I'm kind of taking over as the interviewer, but
that's okay.
Jim, tell us a little bit about your new music, man.
Well, it's been an adventure. You know, I lost my dad about 21 years ago on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And it was a tough time for me. And I feel like, you know, I kind of lost my way a bit, but I also feel like the Lord imparted into me a new gift of music.
Yeah.
I've always studied music. I went to college to be music ed majors. I played piano and marimba and xylophone and percussion, all that stuff. But the Lord started giving me words and melodies, and I started putting them together in songs and working with a lot of great people. And it's been like a 20-year journey now. And the music, I first released a project called Worship for the Nations, and it was great. Had a lot of great people playing here from Kansas City and Nashville. I put it on Apple Music at the time, and you could buy each little thing for 99 cents.
Yeah.
And then streaming took over, and now you can't even find it on Apple Music.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the music industry is so frustrating because, you know, I thought, okay, I'm going to sell this whole CD, you know, for this, or each individual song for that, and it just became something different. So then I started writing in many different styles. Because as a drummer, we all learn to play a lot of different styles. And you taught me some hip hop last night.
So last night.
And we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yes, sir.
But man, this guy taught me some cool hip hop.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
We got it in, man.
It's cool. But anyway, we learn different styles of music, whether it's country, rock, pop, R&B, gospel, whatever. And so when I got these words and melodies, I just kind of knew, having played all those styles, where the words would actually go into what kind of genre of music. So then I started collaborating with people in those different genres. I found my lane, but it was several different lanes, right? And then I made great relationships, and it was just like, I started working in Kansas City, then I moved to Nashville, and I had some angels there that helped me along the way. I would say Tim Akers was a big anchor for me in Nashville, and worked with him a lot. And he passed away, and that was a tough thing during COVID. And then he set me up with Kim Keys, which is a great background singer and lead singer. And these people just started putting me in front of people and helping me find string arrangers, horn arrangers, choirs, and musicians, bass players, guitar players. And so I just started working in Nashville, here in Kansas City, and I've got about 300 songs that we're performing live. I only do about 15 to 18 a year live. And those are recreations of my songs that are already recorded or new ones that I've just done. And I'm actually getting the players who performed on the songs to play as well. So those are my videos at Freedom Music Factory on YouTube. And that's at FMFKC. We'll put that up there. That's my YouTube channel. And then I'm starting to actually try and sell those on my website for like 60 cents a song. And that's at freedommusicfactory.com. So Freedom Music Factory has been really great. I think we've grown like 50,000 subscribers this last year.
I love that.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to continuing to grow, enlarging our footprint. And so we decided we were going to do not only my music, but we're going to start doing podcasts. So my first one was Steve Gadd and Eddie Gadd. And then we've got Diamond as number 2. And we got 3 or 4 more. We did J.R. Robinson, which hasn't come out. John J.R. Robinson. Hey, John, I love you.
Wow.
We talked, over the holidays, and got something coming out with that. So we decided it was going to be podcasts, and it was going to be music, live music, and studio tech gear, and all behind the scenes of what's going on in the studio. So that's really going good at Freedom Music Factory. And one day I'm going to have to get you on one of my songs.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I would love that.
Yeah.
And then we can implement on the record all the things we've been practicing and learning all these years. So
I want to say I learned a lot. I always learn a lot from Diamond, and I think he learns a lot from me too.
Absolutely.
But I learned a lot from him about music and that sort of thing. I mean, he's taught me some licks that I'm actually used in some of my original songs.
I love that.
And I'll have to show those to you. And then last night he opened up my eyes to hip hop, which, man, it's a whole world. I mean, I have so much more respect for hip hop music. I'm like, why do I care about hip hop music? I don't write hip hop. Now I want to write hip hop.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Before I got into it, right? Because when I moved to LA, it was like very heavy hip hop gigs, right? Before I moved to hip hop, it was nothing but church music. Like we was playing church songs. If anything, we would play like Disney records here or something, right? I moved to LA. Never playing trap, and actually Justice West put me on trap music.
Okay.
He played me this Migos record.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, trap and hip hop like could be musical like this? And he was like, bro, I'm telling you, like this music is kind of crazy. And so I got into it and really discovered like the different levels of musicality inside hip hop, trap, etc., like any adjacent genre to the mother genre of hip hop, right? And so last night, before last night, continuing in that time frame when Justice put me on, I really delved deep into trap music, into hip hop, into trap. And I realized how satisfying musically it was to my ears once you learn the rules, right?
Let's talk about the rules.
So check this out. And it's just listen, I'm going to give y'all the goods for free. Some of the goods for free right now. All right. But tap in if you really want to go to another level.
Hashtag Jim.
You got to DM me the word Jim. Okay. JIM. and we gonna get to you, okay? We'll know what that means when you DM the word Jim. So check this out. Here are the rules. We'll talk about the rules of hip hop.
Okay.
Okay. Match the sounds, match the pattern, make the song build. I think that's a simple way that I can put it. For instance, okay, if there's a beat that's like, what's a famous hip hop beat that everybody would know?
Well, how about the song we did last night?
All right, so I was gonna bring that up. I just didn't want to say the name of it. But there's a song by Beyonce and Jay-Z called Ape Blank. All right, Ape S word. All right, if you put it together and you look it up, the song is hard. So the beat is dun, 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 dun. Hey, 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 hey. Dun, 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 2, 3. Oh, now we come in. So it's boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I know we sound goofy. All right, we sound really silly right now. So my boy Matt is about to play you a snippet of this right now. All right, so you heard this beat. I know we sounded silly, and Matt's gonna do a little editing to make us sound less silly, but you heard the beat, all right? So last night, if you notice, when the 808s that Pharrell put in there, I think it was like Pharrell and then Migos. It was supposed to be a Pharrell and Migos record, I believe. Okay. And then like B&J took it. But the 808s that Pharrell was using, the kicks, the rules is, for instance, last night, Jim is such a musical drummer that on the hats, he was shuffling it. But we're matching a computer, right? We're matching what they were editing in their session, which has no velocity on the hats. It's
of which I said, if I'm supposed to play like a machine, why not just use the machine?
Right.
But that was not the right answer.
It wasn't the right answer. And let me tell you why. Because at these live shows, I'm going to say this here. I refuse to go to any live show where there's not a live band because it elevates the show so much. If I'm going to a show to where it's just tracks in the back and it's just people dancing, no offense to dancers. Dancers make shows remarkable. But if you remove the live musicianship, sonically, it takes away another element of experiencing something that you're not hearing on the radio. I think shows where it's just the track or it's just the playback is glorified karaoke. It's karaoke with lights and screens because we're listening to that interpretation of the music on the radio. So let's actually add some live elements to it. So with that being said, although we're pattern matching, the sonic the added sonics of the record, it takes it to another level. So he was mimicking the hats and took the velocity out.
It's not easy to do when you've been taught to play feel your whole life.
It's not.
I grew up with Jeff Beccaro, Steve Gadd, J.R. Robinson, Vinnie Colaiuta, Carlos Vega.
Yeah.
These guys were teaching feel.
Yeah.
But now you got to deprogram your brain and to try and play the... And so how I did it was we actually started out using a lot of arm first.
Instead of wrist, which is what you're supposed to do. But watch this. I told Jim, I said, yo, let's keep going, right? So once we matched that pattern, it was like, I threw in some, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you can throw in your human feel, your human touch, etc. I don't know if all that beatboxing and tapping will translate over this mic, but I hope it will. It should be clear enough.
Maybe we'll get and play it here for once.
Yeah.
But, it was a kind of a great learning experience. I've learned a lot from Diamond every time he's come. And it's just great to hang out and get to talk about drums and life and,
Yeah.
you know, music and business. We always have something to say about business because he's always working on the next thing, which is great, he's a great progressive, forward thinking guy that works for the long term. And that's why he's going to be successful.
Thank you.
You know, I just feel like I'm so blessed that, you know, I've gotten to know you, and I'm so happy and proud of you that you're still walking with the Lord and doing great things. He's an exceptional human being.
Thank you.
And he's overcome a lot, and that says a lot when you've come from being homeless and you've lost your way a couple of times.
Absolutely.
But God pulled you out of the miry clay and steadied your feet as you walked along, and he pulled you out and blessed you.
Yes, sir.
So that's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, listen, whether you work with me, whether you consume Jim's content or not, I want everybody to know this who is watching. You can do anything. You can do absolutely anything that you put your mind to. Okay? You can do anything through Jesus. But let me tell you this. If you want to go far in life, if you want to achieve great things, you have to become absolutely obsessed with the details. And once you figure out what those details are, you do so much of it that it will be unreasonable for you not to succeed. Okay? Do so much of it that it would be unreasonable. It would be unfathomable that you wouldn't succeed. All right? You got it. I'm with you. I'm rooting for you. Jim's rooting for you.
That's right.
And I appreciate this, our conversation that we had today.
Thanks for tuning in, and let's go see if we can teach him something a little bit about hip hop and play that song.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
I get expensive fabrics. I got expensive habits.
Thanks for the lesson,
Yes,
Diamond.
sir. You already know.
All right.
Yes, sir.